Welcome to 155, a podcast about punk songs. I'm Josiah Hughes.
And I'm Sam Sutherland. Shout out to the 155 house band, of course, Split Hairs, another amazing theme.
That's such a good, I know. I love having unlimited themes.
Yeah, it feels like something that we won in some sort of like podcast competition, you know, like where there's like, and there's a band that'll just record 100 themes for your podcast. And we were like, that's the exact type of punishment that we want to inflict on someone else creatively.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of content that's being created every week from this show is absurd.
When people in like a presentation describe, because I feel like this is like a real go-to TED Talk fact where they're like, every minute on YouTube, 17,000 hours of content are uploaded. It would take you over 50 million average human lifetimes to view all of the incredible videos of families and friends enjoying themselves on YouTube.com. You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. Where it's like, how many hours of music?
How many trips to the moon and back have we been responsible for?
Yeah, exactly. How many minutes of, for the most part, top tier musical content, songs, let's call them, are created around every sort of 2-hour black hole of 155.
It's ridiculous.
It's quite sad.
I actually didn't check last week, but last week we did have 29 Avril Lavigne covers. And that's the thing we got to mention off the top. There's actually two housekeeping things for all of you people who have just showed up late to your weekly church service from us, is that, first of all, if you had signed up for our Patreon, you would have had this a day early. And not only that, you would have found out what song we were doing the next week. So you would have been able to be part of that onslaught of ridiculously good content. So that's the one thing I want to say. I'm a little bit mad at all of you, okay?
I like the idea of just being sort of disappointed in anyone who doesn't pay us for this. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a really good, it feels very Catholic to me.
Well,
which...
I'm Protestant, but at the same time,
I know that's why I feel like you're stealing from like historically more my people.
It's true. I'll do whatever it takes. Look, we've been doing this like 15 hours a week for 4 years. So yeah. At this point, come on.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fair.
But if you do want to get it early and you want to find out what song we're doing, it's patreon.com/155pod to get that shit. And then also, the other thing I want to say is that if you are listening to this on Thursday, this will be happening tomorrow. If you're listening to it on Friday, this will be happening tonight. If you're listening to
excited about it
after Friday, then you missed the boat and you need to pay more attention.
You should listen to podcasts the day they come out.
Yeah, is that also a normal thing for other podcasts? Because for ours, I can when it goes live, I can stay up and just watch multiple people listen to the whole thing and talk about it in real time.
I think it's like, you know, I mean, there are podcasts that, like, I listen to a Raptors podcast that recaps the games from the night before, dissects them. That's valuable sort of in the wake of that experience. But this is certainly not a podcast I would be hungry for more of on a weekly basis.
It's not like someone's getting eliminated every week and you don't want to see spoilies on the...
Exactly.
You're worried about Vulture being like...
Yeah.
The epic fails of 155 this week. I don't know. But yeah, so Friday, what is it? December 18th at 8 p.m., twitch.tv/155pod. Yeah, I changed the URL. You know it. We're going to have a little Christmas/holiday party. If you're not celebrating the Christian Christmas, keep that to yourself, okay?
It's great. I really wanted to have like an office holiday party because I've been deprived of that sort of ritual this time of the year. And really all I want to do is like, I'm going to probably get just like a little, holiday loose. I'm just going to be guzzling eggnog.
I feel like if we want to make it like a real holiday Christmas party, we need to get like an uncle to come on and just be like, oh, you got a podcast, eh? You ever heard of, and then just like list off podcasts we've never heard of. It's like I don't know. For me, it would happen if I'd go to my spouse's Christmas parties. I'd always get stuck talking to some old person who like understands about 30% of everything to do with me and then trying to kind of bridge this gap conversationally. I think we need that energy to make it a real office holiday party.
There's something like very perturbed with the idea of like this person who can only understand 30% of what it means to be me. As if someone at an office, my spouse's office, could possibly understand all of the sort of rich interests that comprise,
I'm
my
trying
character.
to say, it's like my entire life. They're like, "Oh, you write about music? Have you ever heard of Walk Off the Earth or whatever?" It's like this is always like this. Maybe I'm being maybe no one can really understand more than 30% of any of us. It's like our brains being using. I don't know. All I know is we need that kind of energy of someone being like, "Oh, you got a podcast? Eh? You ever heard?" What would be a podcast? I can't even finish this.
You ever listen to Bill Simmons?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Then you're gonna get all worked
I like
up.
The Daily.
You're gonna be all eggnogged up and get angry, or like,
I'm gonna be in my nogs.
or maybe that guy's
We should
wife will
have-
be like, "Oh, have you ever heard like Murder Me Wrote?" And it's like a funny one about murder.
Yeah, it's just about why mom's doing murder.
Murder We Wrote, and they're doing an improv murder screenplay novella based on real cold cases. That's the new hit podcast, I think.
Okay, what about Murder Moat? And it's about
Did you say?
murder,
Wait, say it again. It cut out.
Murder We Moat, and it's sort of like a murder most foul, or like murder by death type scenario where it's describing, in fact, that this person has been murdered with a Wiimote. So it's like a festive holiday whodunit.
using Nintendo technology from approximately 20 years ago.
In my mind, that was an incredibly current joke.
It's good. It's good. It's very good. Don't get me.
Thank you so much.
Don't get me
so I've been
wrong.
missing a certain type of holiday energy in my life, and so my vision is like I'm going to be like just flying off that egg juice, just basically making everyone listen to Oi to the World.
You gonna nog it up?
I'm going to like exclusively drink nog. I'm going to absolutely barf first from lactose before I barf from alcohol.
Let's get no. I'm serious though. Let's get like someone 45 plus on the horn.
We should,
for
or
this.
like a rotating guest spot, maybe like,
but
just
only
like,
old people who don't get it. Is there a way we can get that?
I don't know. I mean, maybe we should like invite our parents or something,
Or like your boss? Would your boss come on?
Honestly, my boss would probably do it, but it's just like.
Then they're gonna see what you've been up to. It's gonna be
Yeah, it's because like when I offhandedly mention it or it comes up, it sounds very cool, and I would like to not dispel that myth.
right. You kind of tell them a different URL. You're like, yeah, my show is
I got it wrong.
my show
that's
is called
crazy.
You Wouldn't Download a Podcast.
But I think get a sort of just like an outlier old person who's kind of stuck around a little too late, and you're like, okay, well, we're just going to keep going.
But someone who doesn't get it also, who just really wants to sort of maybe I can make like a JPEG of their hand on your shoulder while you're talking to them.
That
So
would
it's
be
like you
good.
can't escape this person.
They don't quite get it, but they're not like
Not
obnoxious
rude.
about it. They're
No.
trying.
They want to be your best friend, and
In
they
their
keep
own way.
and they keep saying, "Please remember me when you're famous."
Yeah, and you're like, I appreciate the sentiment, but you have to stop saying that.
But first of all, I don't remember you right now.
I think you're my uncle, but you might be my second cousin.
All right, we've already done an hour of hanging out and having fun. Let's get down to the fucking brass tacks here. If you guys want to hear us riff, give us your money.
Let's enjoy the holidays together. Give us your money so we can riff more. This week, we are talking about a song that Josiah heard for the first time 10 minutes ago. March of the Pigs by Nine Inch Nails, a fairly substantial hit from an era of music that you and I mostly seem to share like a sort of similar understanding and awareness of. So I do feel an impulse to ask right out the gate, as a person who doesn't really like Nine Inch Nails and has a sort of specific notion of who they are, and for a song that we debated in the more expensive part of the podcast, whether or not this truly deserves to be discussed on something so holy as a punk podcast. What did you think of the song, and do you think, from listening to it, that this is a punk song?
Okay. So I watched the music video specifically. I listened to the studio recording too, but I'm really honed in on the music video. I think that the music video looks exactly like Well, first of all, like just kind of if you just don't focus on them too much, they look exactly like the band Darkest Hour in this video.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're punk or not either, but I do feel like this could easily be like a 4-band bill in an art gallery, and this goth adjacent. They kind of do seem like a hardcore, post-hardcore band that really wants to turn goth but hasn't like committed to it yet. You know what I mean? This is like maybe like the bridge between Carry On and Youth Code. It's like the middle ground where they're trying to figure it out. So I do think that this has like extreme punk and hardcore energy to it. I still don't know if I would qualify it as a punk song fully, just probably because of the contextual baggage of it. But I get it. I agree with you. I think this is like, in terms of like the definition of punk being like a DIY show or something, this band could be on one of the bills. And so it makes sense to me. Did I like it? I was like fucking with it a lot the whole time. And then the like piano singing part was so embarrassing. I started laughing out loud both times it happened because it's so, that's like
so unexpected. That's what you're saying. It's such an exciting, creative twist.
It's so like incredibly edgelord to the fact that I know exactly why this was popular, because everyone loved the mixture of like hard rocking with like this like nasty little piggy, this little piggy goes to the market nursery rhyme part that's like all like edgy and epic. So I don't know, like that again, if it was someone else I might have given it a pass, but for the edgelord part to also have those like piggy lyrics, it was maybe a bit too much for me just so early on. I'm willing to grow and come to accept this like mesh edgelord man singing this little piggy goes to market to me into the camera, but at that moment, I was like, okay, this is a bit much.
There's a few things that you said that I want to pick up on. I appreciate that maybe we're in the general sort of punk zone, because I did have concerns about how, in my mind, what people would feel about me picking this song. And then I was like, this is my podcast. Why am I afraid of everyone?
Someone literally last week like messaged me.
A podcast that I helped make.
Someone messaged me like that you're not willing to say you make it yet. Wow, you do make it, Sam.
Well, you know, listen, I'm part of what makes the podcast.
Somebody messaged me last week and said that they felt kind of this freedom from us declaring Avril Lavigne punk. They felt that it was kind of like just allowed them to see their life more clearly and stop worrying about it so much all the time. So I think, but then again, I still think maybe you do deserve some pushback for this one. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It's not my fight to have, really.
Yeah, I do want to know what people think. You know, as I said this before, I don't think Nine Inch Nails is a punk band. I think this is a punk song. But the edgelord thing is really interesting to me, because I don't know how aware you are of the sort of like myth of the creation of this record. And if you are, that sort of obnoxious tone will make sense. And if not, it's just going to seem particularly obnoxious. But this is like real, like Alan Cross History of New Music 101 type shit, because this was like the fun, sexy alt rock story from the 90s that I feel like I heard all the time, but I also feel like I heard March of the Pigs all the time. And so maybe you didn't. Do you know like where this was recorded and all the pig stuff?
Oh, it was like recorded like at a pig place?
I mean, sort of. So for the EP before this and for this album, Trent Reznor had rented the house where the like Manson murders happened, or where the Tape Love You happened, or whatever. So of course, like one of the myths of that is that the family wrote pigs on the door in Sharon Tate's blood, and so he rents the house, claims to begin with that he's only rented the house because like it was the right shape for what he wanted to do.
Oh, he just pretended he wasn't being all edgy.
Names the studio in this house Le Pig, and then has like all of these songs on the record that sort of play with pig images. There's March of the Pigs, there's Piggy. It's this like recurring theme on the record. And now I look at it and I'm like, this is the most like embarrassing edgelordy teen shit imaginable. At the time, I think I either thought it was like cool, or I bought into this like Trent Reznor explanation that like serial killer stories are like American folklore, you know, and so he's like tapping into this sort of disturbed aspect of the American psyche or whatever.
So now they would rent out the house and record like a quirky podcast about how they want to fuck the serial killers because they're hunky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or they'd like move into like an old, like a long abandoned Vine mansion.
That would be. Imagine if Nine Inch Nails. Imagine if they did Vine Inch Veils and recorded an album in a Vine mansion.
That's the stuff. But so there is like this. The fact that sonically you are getting this edgelordy thing is very funny because like this whole era of the band is like imbued with the most, I think, sort of retroactively embarrassing edgelord tendencies.
It's not exactly subtle. I don't think it comes across pretty clear how much they're trying to freak out the squares or whatever. Even though this
but at least like with Marilyn Manson, it was like cartoony freaking out the squares. What I think is sort of funny about this is like there's a real sense of like, did you know this is dangerous? and I think that is like really like kind of skeeves me out.
But even is this like the kind of music that like Trenchcoat Mafia wannabe people would have been into, or are they into like deeper shit? And this is still kind of the poser version of that.
No, so like literally the Trenchcoat Mafia were like obsessed with this record. So
nice.
like Dylan Klebold, right? Like there's like his notebook is like all lyrics from the Downward Spiral. So the record this is from, which this is the first single from, is like hypothetically a concept record, the way all albums are like hypothetically concept records when bands want to make them seem like much smarter, where there's like a protagonist who goes through things and you're like, so you just writing about shit? But evidently Dylan really like identified with the protagonist at the center of the Downward Spiral. So yeah, this is a little bit Trenchcoat Mafia shit.
Okay. All right. Well,
so you're completely right with that. So there's like
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's the bane of my existence is like, and not that I'm happy to have heard this song and I'm excited to learn about it. I'm happy to listen to it. The bane of my existence is me like not liking something and then someone getting really excited to show it to me and really putting all this effort into trying to give me all the context required to completely understand it. And then I just realized that my first instinct was always correct for myself. And this happens every time.
Yeah, that's fair. This is like, edgelordy music for people who want to kill kids at their school. You're just good. You can just sort of move past it, I guess.
No, I want to learn more about it. I want to learn more about this edgelord Nine Inch Nails Pig song.
Well, okay. So I do love so the video too, right? Which is like, you listen to that. So that actually was your introduction to the song. You have not heard the recorded version of the song because the video is all just live.
I listened to some of it to sort of do a cross reference, and I could tell like the live one is definitely more punk, and then the recorded one is like more synthy, which makes it more contemporary punk.
Did you ever like Filter?
No.
Because like I don't think he's in the band at this point, but like Robert Patrick or the other Patrick, one of them's the T-1000 and one of them is a guitar player in Nine Inch Nails who ended up starting Filter.
Okay.
And they look kind of the same. Anyway, I just wanted to maybe talk about Filter, but it's
Go
cool.
for it. I mean, no, I don't want to shut you down. That's the thing. Like I'm here for you right now. I'm ready for whatever you want to say.
No, that was it. I mean, I have nothing specific to say about Filter except for the fact that like, hey man, I shot rocks, obviously. So the video, which you mentioned, right? So shot by Peter Christopherson, who was like a founding member of Throbbing Gristle, then basically starts like Psychic TV with Genesis P. Orge. So like a legitimate, like shot the original press photos for the Sex Pistols, designed the logo for Boy. This is one of those things where like when you start reading with something, you're like, is this person fucking real? Designed the album cover for Wish You Were Here, like the one with the business people shaking hands and one of them's on fire.
When you say Boy, do you mean U2's Boy?
No, I mean like the designer, the label, the fashion.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Like Boy London or whatever it is.
Boy. I love Boy.
And so it like legitimately is this.
Yeah.
Again, I think like we've talked about sort of Throbbing Gristle and stuff before as an example of a type of punk that you and I don't necessarily really understand.
God, I'm so sorry. You just described this man as being so cool, and I was like, God damn, what a cool guy. I recognize he died 10 years ago. I don't want to be too mean, but his profile picture on Wikipedia is so not what I expected at all.
What is it? What is his profile picture on Wikipedia?
He looks like every man who cares about Record Store Day exclusives ever. Like he's just like,
oh yeah,
he's not at all. I expected to basically see like a ghost or something. Like when you see like when you see like Wes Eishold, you're like, that's precisely what I expected this man to look like. You know, not like.
I had a similar thing where I'm finally reading The Watchmen right now because I decided that I don't have the attention span for books. And I was like, I'm just gonna like read graphic novels.
You want to know where that
whatever.
the blue man profile picture on Twitter is coming from that everyone has?
Exactly. I want to understand the Blue Man. I want to understand what people were mad or not mad about at HBO for earlier this summer, and I was like, I'm going to read this. And like Alan Moore, who created Watchmen and did like Swamp Thing, I guess, and I was either people know this and are mad at me for not knowing enough about him or don't know it. Are you like a comic graphic novel guy?
I'm getting into like Drawn and Quarterly, like indie-ass graphic novels finally, since I live like next door basically. But I did read
that as part of your personality.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, I love those so much. They're incredible. But I did read The Watchmen a long time ago, and I don't know. I just felt like I was supposed to. It just felt like homework. But it was. I think it was kind of good. Well, are you done it yet?
No, but the point is, like, I Googled Alan Moore, who I've never really thought that much about. And, like, that's a guy who looks like just from a different time. Like, of course, this person should make like, wild graphic novels.
Yeah, he looks exactly. You're right. He looks exactly like how he should. This man, based on everything you just described, he looks more like he would run a Gorillaz fan page or something. He just looks like a British music fan who's like somehow invested in what happened to the members of Kasabian after they broke up or whatever. Not like
this is real GeoCities Gorillas.
Yeah, exactly.
Energy coming out of those. I don't think it helps that he looks like he's at a record fair in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
but then if you scroll down, there's even another photo of him where you're like, he looks like he's at a luau in it.
Wow.
This man just is permanently on like vacation for people who like he's honestly it's so cliche to say, but he looks like a Funko Pop collector. But may he rest in peace.
Yeah, the Funkos. Are you resting in peace? Your Funkos.
I don't have any Funkos
because you had to rest them in peace, man.
I did. It was too loaded of a concept.
There's something you and I talked about before this episode started to make sure that we would watch it, and we definitely have to watch it. Is that this video was, of course, roasted in that most sort of holy of settings, Beavis and Butthead. And so I think we should watch a little bit of Beavis and Butthead right now. I watched like 2 seconds today, and it made me so happy to hear Beavis and Butthead's voices.
Oh, they're making more, I think.
Oh yeah, I read about it's supposed to be like making fun of Vines or something now.
Oh yeah, I mean that might be good still.
Yeah, just them roasting. Yeah, it'll just be like Deez and Miro. It'll just be hopefully like roasting viral content.
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead are the original Deezus and Miro.
Yeah, exactly.
Those drums sound cool.
That's true.
Shut up, Beavis. I wonder what that drummer's listening to.
He's probably listening to Pantera.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
dude.
honestly an incredible format.
Get started.
It really is.
Put down your arms and
I wonder if
start
it's
singing.
better or worse with us talking over it. Probably better.
Yeah.
The fact that they like it makes me realize that I like it
Where do these
too.
guys get
That's
these
what I'm saying. Like, imagine you're watching this with your friends Beavis and Butthead.
I went into the store once and asked for some shiny pants. They kicked my ass out of there.
I think you like just take regular pants and you like have them shined.
Oh, really? Yeah, but I do shine my pants.
The synth sounds really good too,
Yeah, right? See, listen to all these great sounds.
but it's about to get bad.
Butthead,
I
Sid.
do shine my pants.
This part of the song sucks.
Yes.
These guys need to just concentrate on rocking.
Yeah, really. Rock, rock.
I'm so validated right now.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, this is like really good
This
confirmation.
guy keeps
here.
like stumbling around.
It really
and
is.
stuff.
I think he's having a very good day.
I think he's just drunk off his ass.
Hey, get your hand off the keyboard, butthole.
Yeah. These guys like need to practice more.
Yes, they're very well prepared for this video.
See, that feels like less like a Beavis and Butthead opinion and more like they're trying to add a joke where they can't find one. This is so much better. Oh, thank you, Beavis and Butthead, for validating me in every way.
the fart over the last.
Thank you very much for a 9-inch nail.
Good night.
That was Beavis and Butthead watch March the Pigs.
That's so good. I want to say too, the video is really cool, and I love the camera movement, and I love the way that they are trying to make everything fall apart. And I feel like this is the energy that they tried to capture again with the Strokes Last Night video, and then famously Sum 41 tried to capture that energy, and I think it just gets diluted more each time. But I do think I like the idea of a music video that feels live and like it's falling apart.
I just think, again, and so far my two choices have been, well, actually not first singles. I guess we determined Superman was never a single, but like this is a first single from a band that had kind of just broken out with what was like effectively kind of like a slightly aggro Depeche Mode song. Like you go from Head Like a Hole to this song that is like, I don't know. So it's insane. So the verses are like 7/8 and 8/8. Your music video is live off the floor. And again, I think the sort of like aggression and there is this like very like hardcore energy to this where like I think even by the time you get here, like grunge is sort of cresting and it feels like people are like abandoning the sort of like heavier tenets of like that sort of like 90s alternative sound. And so it's just like super interesting to me that like this is the thing that then becomes like this is a decent hit. This is the sort of way that this new album from a like emerging, you know, this band like was one of the biggest bands that played at Woodstock this year. I again, this sort of falls into this category of like songs that I think are like fascinating as the thing you run up the flagpole, you know?
It's true. So before this song, were they big though? Like I know nothing about them. I know this is their big album, but like, were they big before this?
Yeah, because Pretty Hate Machine is like a breakout album. I have no idea sort of like what Pretty Hate Machine. Sorry, I'm like also looking at the internet. Sold. But okay, I don't know. This is like an independent album made for no money, reached 75 on the Billboard Hot 100 or whatever. Down in It, Head Like a Hole. Head Like a Hole is like a huge single.
Oh yeah, I've probably heard that one before.
On the Hot 100. Like that was like a big breakout. And then you have Broken, which is sort of a big deal, and then you have Downward Spiral.
So so it was like probably the most pressure on them, this album. And then this was the first single from it. That's pretty interesting. I do think, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but it's an interesting tension that it feels like they're trying to do this song that's just like a no bullshit punk song, really. But then to add in the 7/8 time signature is like, I can't tell if it's a flex or if it's just like almost insecure to be like, we're not just going to do a straightforward punk song though.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think like so much of what's on Pretty Hate Machine is like everything is just 4/4 and everything is like, you know, one of the things that when you read, because this is like not the most popular song in the band's catalog, but this is like definitely, I think, like a favorite and a classic, and especially as sort of the first thing people heard from this record that has become sort of this larger kind of cultural touchstone. I think people are interested in it for that reason. And it's this is just lodged in my head because it's so close to the sex number plus a few hundred. This is like 269 BPM when like every single song that's on the radio is always, again, what is it, like 130 or 170 or something like that? There's like sort of these accepted boundaries in which sort of popular music exists. And so as part of this strategy to continue this band's ascension into like rock superstardom, I think it's like, maybe a bit of it is sort of trying to be pretentious, but I also think it's just sort of generally like on this record, like that's how everything sounds. There's no like straightforward song on this record, even, Closer or not Closer, but Hurt, right? That becomes the sort of huge song when Johnny Cash covers it. That song is like kind of hard to listen to in the context of the record. Like it's mixed really, it's kind of insane how it sounds, and like the mastering is all picked up, and then at the end it just sort of like has like two sort of big hits that if you've been turning it up, like really just sort of like fuck up your brain. The entire album is like an attempt to create like a fairly like dissonant listening experience, which like as a kid I fucking hated actually.
Yeah, are you just like new to Nine Inch Nails recently?
No, I've always, and this is why like I think Nine Inch Nails is an interesting band, because I've always like, I own all these CDs because like I half loved them and then I half fucking hated them. Like because I found the stuff that was good, like this song, I would just like wish that it was kind of a straightforward song. And then you get into like The Fragile, and there's, I think like all the singles are great. Like We're in This Together and Starfuckers are awesome. But they're never straightforward enough. There's always like something annoying that happens in it. And then especially like not every, but a lot of non-single or like deep cut Nine Inch Nails tracks are just like moody shit. And Trent Reznor being like, you take me away. And you're like, whoa, I fucking hate this.
That
like,
sounds good to me. I would prefer that than the piggy part of this song.
You should get into some Nine Inch Nails like deep cuts. It's like it's just too intimate sometimes.
I like that feeling actually. I don't like when you're rocking out and then you add this like sort of eye contact piggy part to it. That's what I don't like about it. But I was just thinking like it kind of feels like when I was learning about music too, when I was younger. It kind of does feel like weird time signatures are kind of like algebra or something that you're like, you never end up using it in your day-to-day life. But maybe in the 90s they were trying to use it. Like, but this song too, when I listen to it, like it feels like they're just adding an extra hit in order to, it's not like it naturally fit the 7/8 at that part. It feels like it's just so intentional that it just feels almost forced in a way that I still don't hate, but it's just, I don't know. I just feel like they were like being like, well, we learned about different time signatures, so we better fucking use them.
I think that's a reasonable interpretation. And I don't think this is a good example of that, though. I think there are times where you can like listen to a band that's like tried to really complicate things for the sake of complicating them. To be honest, like I fucking love Dillinger Escape Plan, but I think Dillinger Escape Plan at their like worst and at their most sort of when they're fully caricatures of themselves is when nothing feels motivated, and it's just like ding 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 ding. Even that's too reasonable. Like where it's just like,
yeah,
you're just playing it complicated because you thought of like some sort of polyrhythm, but they're not even polyrhythms, right? Whereas I kind of feel like this has this because it's consistent, and then it throws you off a little bit. I think I've always interpreted it as like a very organic way of like creating like this dissonant tension that is like so much of this era of the band kind of exists to create and embody.
It kind of feels actually like Lust for Life, but being like ground out in a weird way. I wonder when
I can still listen to Lust for Life. Like I put that song on this weekend.
When did Trainspotting come out? Like, I wonder if Lust for Life was having no, that was after. So maybe people were hearing this song, and then when the Trainspotting soundtrack hit, and they're like, choose life, I chose heroin, or whatever. They had that in their dorm. Maybe that's when it hit. They're like, oh my God, this sounds like Nine Inch Nails, but without the extra. No,
it's so exciting.
It's so straightforward. I'm not confused, and he's not talking about. Actually, Iggy Pop kind of does similar edgelordy kind of things, but maybe not in that song.
Yeah, it is actually like very interesting that you mentioned that though, because like one of the things that's made me go back and be able to be honest, like loved some Nine Inch Nails, kind of didn't care. The soundtracks are good, but too much these days. Nine Inch Nails to me occupy a very similar space to like the Deftones, but I care less in the sense that like they're still putting out albums and you're kind of like surprised as an outsider in some way, but that there are people who have been following this band kind of since the 90s to sort of get to this point and still think they're doing all this like really interesting stuff because it was never super connected to like what was very hot and trendy at the time, which just sort of brings me back to like the stuff that I thought was difficult about this record in like reading about more at least than just like the sort of Tate LaBianca stuff about this record is like the attempt to kind of recreate the atmosphere of Low, which has like become at least like one of my favorite Bowie records, but initially like really like bums me out by the time you get halfway through because it's just like side B is just all the like really difficult like Brian Eno music that they made together that's like not even ambient. It's like quite aggressively like in your face, sort of funky strange. Mm-hmm. And then you realize like that's what they're doing, but then also on Closer, and I'm sure this is one of those things that's been known forever, but like the Closer drum sample is actually from Nightclubbing, which is like from The Idiot, one of the Berlin records that Bowie and Iggy Pop made together. So like all of that Iggy Pop, Choose Life, I Choose Heroin stuff is percolating in here, you know?
Yeah, so that did help usher in that 90s moment for that song.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I guess that's also a punk song. I mean, yeah, this is a punk song. I'll allow it.
I just think like devoid of the context of this band, if this was how the New Vein record opened up, would you not think that it was a punk song?
Yeah, I do. I think honestly, the thing that is throwing me off is the piano part. What does he actually sing at that part? He says, what does he say? Does that make you feel better? Is that what he's saying at that part?
Doesn't it make you feel better?
I think
the pigs are out tonight. It's all very of a piece.
I honestly think that if this was a band playing at a local show, they'd be playing this song, and you were like a sort of judgmental, gatekeepy 20-year-old. They'd be playing this song, and you'd be like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then he would do that one part, and then you'd be like, okay, this guy owns all the wrong records or whatever. You know? Like that's the one part where you'd be like, all right, I'm out.
I did try to like look up bands that had covered this also to see if they were like mostly punk bands, and it sort of sits in this between areas. We talked a bit about, you know, in the sort of expensive Lux version, premium full length podcast about May. Motion City Soundtrack have covered this song. There's like a few other, and they're all kind of like. Are those all just like punk bands who own all the wrong records? Maybe.
Yeah, I think they might be.
I mean, there is one that I thought we could listen to. Do you want to hear 18 Visions covering this song?
Yes, I do. On that list, before we hit play, I guess we're on that list.
No,
also, it was just last month, the band Horse the Band covered it, which is like, I'm scared that all these bands are coming back now. I'm getting scared about it. I feel like we're not doing enough about it. You know, like the water is not turning. It's not turning the frogs gay. It's bringing like Spazcore back.
Yeah, Nintendo Core is coming back.
No, we're gonna have white belts and fucking NES controller belt buckles on them. I don't have the kind of
power gloves.
My gut can't handle that kind of shape down there. Are you kidding me? It's
gonna be too much. I honestly saw the Horse the Band cover and it kind of was like, okay, I get it. And then you mentioned it before we started recording and said that it was from a month ago. Like I didn't know Horse the Band was back.
Yeah, they came back.
I love Cutsman just as much as anyone else who heard Cutsman when they were in high school.
Well, I didn't like it. I don't think so.
Bunnies, come on, all the hits.
Okay, so this is 18 Visions. I don't even know if I've ever heard 18 Visions either. I mean, I'm aware of them, but
yeah, I don't think which one is 18 Visions? This is like a victory band, right?
They seem like Avenged Sevenfold to me. Also,
yeah. Well, anyway, let's see how. So this is maybe a point in the like maybe it's a metal song.
Oh my god! You should Google image search them while we listen.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wow, this sounds like dog shit also.
18 Visions.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot of photos of 18 Visions where it looks like the singer is the singer from Hero.
From Papa Roach?
Yeah.
Man, Now Nine Inch Nails really looks like bleeding through to me in that video.
Oh yeah.
This is sick, though, actually. Oh, wait, we should hear if he does the. Does he do the Edgelord part? See, the singing is ruining it, though. Oh, good lord. That part is just cursed. That part of the song.
It's extremely cursed. But before we get into covers, and there's a few like there's a video of them playing this live, and let's watch this actually. So Nine Inch Nails have this guy Rob Sheridan who I think just travels with them. I think I don't really understand. I don't know enough about. I know just enough about Nine Inch Nails to sort of talk through 80% of this episode, but they have this guy who I think he does comics for them or something. I don't know. Then he also has made all these videos where he's on stage with them, just with one camera, kind of running around, and then mix it in with the board feed. And the effect is kind of like you're watching a Cloverfield movie where the Cloverfield monster is Nine Inch Nails.
Stop. I hate that. These things make me so intrigued, and I want to check them out more.
So let's watch. So this is them,
and this is in Melbourne.
Melbourne in 2004. Just they have a couple of videos where they're on stage with Dillinger Escape Plan, not playing this song, and I watch those
That's the Angels and Airwaves guy drumming right now too.
Oh shit! But look at how fucking this video looks like how concerts look in scripted films, where you're like
concerts aren't like this.
Yeah. This is also Jack Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Nine Inch Nails is just bleeding through. It seems a lot less
Are you sending me photos. Is this bleeding through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them play with Most Precious Blood and Champion and Blue Monday one time in Bellingham, Washington. And they seemed a lot like Nine Inch Nails to me. I don't think this video is really cool how it's shot, but it's making me think that it's less of a punk song and more of a... Better. Damn.
Yeah. This is not helping the punk thing. But again, it's basically a punk beat.
It is. No, I get it. I mean, I'm reluctant to even ask, but is this song about anything? Or is it just murder, blood, pig blood?
I think this song is just about conformity, man. That's if you read the Genius annotation.
Yeah, the protagonist is sarcastically encouraging the consumer as pigs he despises to continue feeding off of him and other people.
Just as a question, are you riffing right now, or are you reading the Genius?
That's literally what it actually said.
It was just on the edge of damn, that's really fucking stupid sounding. So it could be real.
I mean, last week I went in here and made some annotations, but
yeah,
no, that's a real annotation.
Pigs.
I wonder if that's true, though. Oh, I mean, again, spoken from the perspective of the antagonist. In this case, the music entertainment press, who Trent felt exploited by in their pursuit of a good story. From the pig's point. I mean, I also feel like that if you're saying antagonist and protagonist a lot in your Genius annotation, it's a sign that you just learned about that kind of stuff in school.
Yeah. You're like, this is going to make me sound real smart.
So maybe
the death of the author.
Right. Various things like that dumb people say to sound smart.
Yeah, exactly. Just a hypothetical dumb person, smart person's thing.
I want to break it up. I want to smash it up. I want to fuck it up. The Genius annotation, it says, the aggressive pseudo-anarchist thoughts of the protagonist sneak in again. He desires to destroy the mechanisms that manufacture and encourage pigs to continue acting as they do in society.
Right?
I mean, that's the other funny thing about the '90s. Like, all these people are friends now. Like, he probably like golfs with Tom Morello. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just grow up to just be like an old guy like everyone else.
I mean, also, in terms of the sort of like consumerist pigs and everything. I mean, I'm not even going to bother looking this up, but like Beats One was basically like a joint effort that was like Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor sort of at the front of it, right? And then like Jimmy Iovine and other people and shit. But when Apple bought Beats One, basically for the purpose of absorbing a streaming service, they were like also kind of like acqui-hiring Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor. So like Trent Reznor, and look, I mean, Pretty Hate Machine built on a Mac. Again, it's like this sort of famous early piece of electronic, popular, like really popular sort of electronic pop music. And so like, he's been using Apple computers for a long time, but still like in terms of like this person who has all these songs about like pigs and conformity and stuff, just being like, a partial owner of an Apple subsidiary is also incredibly fucking funny.
It's so good.
Not that I begrudge anyone that, like, get it.
Well, I was feeling kind of weird today when Boots Riley sold his new TV show to Amazon. Like, I also get it. Like, it has to come out somewhere, and it's not going to be like a Means TV production, but it's still just kind of like you went with the most evil one of them all.
It's tough, though, right? Because it's like they're all evil. Like, everything, leaving your house is evil. Being in your house is evil. Like, there's just...
It's true.
Like, is it supposed to be like on Vimeo, just as a sort of?
Well, that's actually the funny thing
download?
is, I thought it was interesting when I watched the music video. I did watch it on the official Nine Inch Nails music Vimeo page. So I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. It's kind of indie of them. But maybe it's less about that you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, and more about like just don't be like greedy corporate piggies, just like make the lyrics something different instead.
Yeah, I feel like,
if you're being like,
Reznor was at the time, but in my mind he was like 15, right?
If every line is like, fucking journalists want to take a piece of me like a piece of bacon from a piggy, and then he like then like never do press again. If you're gonna be like that, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Some fucking spin intern is like, oh, what are your influences, Mr. Reznor? I'm a big fan. And then he says them, and then he goes home and he's like, this little fucking piggy wants to bite on me, nibble on me. Doesn't it make you feel? It's just like, calm down, bro.
Your Trent Reznor impression is quite disgusting. Piggies want to nibble on me.
I wonder what his talking voice sounds like, actually. I don't even want to know.
Trent Reznor has a cool speaking voice.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's like too cool and handsome, too, to be all mad about this stuff.
He is way too handsome. And I agree with you. Once he became jacked, it was sort of like, oh, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Like you're like a rich, handsome, jacked guy.
Yeah, and you're still making Trenchcoat Mafia music. That's not fair. You got to pick a side, bro.
Well, now he just makes like ambient piano soundscapes that win like...
What was his most recent soundtrack? I feel like it was something really funny.
He definitely did the soundtrack for The Watchmen.
Oh yeah,
because that included there was like a cover of Life on Mars on it, and that's how I found it, because I was just looking for covers of Life on Mars one day.
I think there's another more recent one. Oh, he did the movie Mank, but I don't think that's very funny. I think that's just some boring Oscar bait shit.
Yeah,
he did Bird Box. That's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually really funny.
I feel like he just does whatever. How do I find his soundtrack?
Rewatch of Social Network like early in the pandemic, and I gotta say, for a minimalist soundtrack, kind of iconic.
I actually thought when I saw that movie, that was the moment when I was like, maybe I will give Nine Inch Nails a chance, and then I just never did.
You just like Atticus Ross.
Oh, he did the soundtrack for Call of Duty Black Ops. I mean, that's pretty cool. So he's done propaganda and army recruiting materials. He did Pixar's Soul also, which is kind of strange to me.
Oh, that is...
I don't know why.
I saw one ad for that movie, but that does sound weird.
Doesn't that just seem a bit odd? And he did Mid-90s, which is a piece of shit in my opinion. Yeah, The Fourth Estate, which is a documentary about the New York Times coverage of the White House. Like, I feel like they're taking everyone's calls, you know?
I mean, literally all he has to do is go like, huh, and then there's like a random like, boo, boo, boo. And people are like, And it is good. Like if you can get away with it, but he just like tapes down a note and walks away for 8 hours, collects his paycheck.
I know.
God bless.
It
I
is
think he had a
pretty.
tough time in the 90s.
Did he? I mean, that's the other question I had is like, what is his strife other than journalists peeling him like a piggy?
I think he might be a drinky, druggy boy. I think he's had some struggles with the substances, in addition to the piggies.
Right.
And so I think that's a very sort of a big part of, his story,
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're making fun of him for that. I mean,
I'm just saying, I'm making fun of myself for saying it like that.
right.
The joke is on me, Josiah.
He did a soundtrack for whatever Peter Berg's Patriots Day is from 2016. Oh, the Boston Marathon bombing movie.
Yeah, that's the Mark Wahlberg is the super smart cop.
I mean,
who didn't exist.
I know you don't like to hear this, but I feel like probably 50% of Trent Reznor's soundtrack filmography is like straight up propaganda of one kind or another.
I bet Mark Mothersbaugh did a few like recruitment videos in his time.
Yeah, but like Mark Mothersbaugh's past is like the Rugrats theme and making songs about like being into your computer, like having a crush on your computer or something. You know, it's like,
and also like literally he was at Kent State, like when they killed students.
oh, see?
So I actually don't think he would do recruitment videos.
Yeah, maybe that's
But
the
deceptively, fluffy in his output.
It's true. Whereas Trent Reznor is kind of just like, I don't know. I think he's been undercover alt this whole time. He's just been trying to recruit alts and get them buff and to join the army.
The buff thing is new, but yeah, that's fine.
But I think he activated the buffness later on. But he was always planning it.
Oh, interesting.
He's kind of
This
been
has like a
normalizing
rom-com.
buffness and army and propaganda this whole time.
Honestly, if I could join the army and immediately get that strong, I would do it. He looks good.
It's true.
He does. I think he's short. I feel like he's a short guy, and so I like seeing him out there just like being aggressive looking.
It's so funny now that we can just talk about whoever we want. How much it broadens the possibility of us getting death threats or just sort of angry people.
Oh, Trent Reznor is listed as 5'7". I'm absolutely taller than this man, but I'm not buffer yet, and so that's what's missing.
You're taller than 5'7"?
I mean, like if I were to be listed on the internet, I would be like 5'10", But you know that I wasn't 5'10".
Sounds so
know.
tight. Let me see here. There is a lot of.
There's got to be a way to. Could we put that on like my famous birthdays or something?
Why is there a
Just so
picture
that-
of someone that's not you on your famousintro.com?
Famous intro.
It also says you're born January 1st, 1985.
Yeah, the classic birthday. I'm looking up Sam Sutherland height in feet, and unfortunately, I'm not getting anything.
Sam Sutherland feet? Do we got that on here? No.
Damn, facts about explore the life of Sam. I'm not a Capricorn. Wow, famous intros doesn't know anything about me. This is
When I search
quite a-
Sam Sutherland feet, there's a picture of Kiefer Sutherland for some reason. Are you related to Kiefer?
only in the feet.
Are you related to the Sutherland clan?
Yeah, but again, it's just from the ankle down. Listen, I don't think that anything else that I'm going to tell you or any of their soundtracks are going to convince you that March of the Pigs is a punk song. But maybe some of the
I
covers.
still
from
think
this
it. I
week-
really do still think it is. I feel like the song is really good despite Trent Reznor. I feel like he's actively trying to ruin it, and it's still good.
I mean, it's a tough one because, like, there's something about me thinks Trent Reznor is really fucking cool, even though, like, I constantly see him doing things that I think are not cool.
I don't think you can. I think he's the kind of cool where he only got a brief window in his life to be the coolest guy ever, and then he never gets to be cool again. Whereas some people are just never that cool, but get to be cool forever. Like hopefully us.
Damn, yeah, I think that's it. But I do think there's also like this interesting aspect of like Nine Inch Nails being like one of the first bands to adopt like the internet as a creative platform, like distributing stems to songs so people could remix them. Like I think that part of his career, just even like for you, is like interesting. Not that like you're gonna look it up after, but I'm just trying to convince you.
Not a bad guy.
guy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't need convincing because I get it. I definitely get it, but there's like so many things.
I'm really acting like I'm on the back foot here the whole time.
It's yeah, I get
Please.
I get everything about it, but I still think it's cousin music at the end of the day. And every once in a while, cousin music crosses over with me music, just like cousin movies do, cousin culture in general.
Yeah.
But I just still feel like this is like the one common ground you have with your cousin. And it reminds me, actually, now that we're entering the holidays, of the time when I was a teen visiting my extended family, and we had like a secret Santa, and my cousin bought me the Family Values Live CD, and it was at the exact time in my life where it was probably the worst possible gift I could receive. But I forced myself to listen to it, and I didn't like it at all. But
See, and I just want to say that like there's never been a bad time in my life for me to receive that sort of gift.
so we've
Like, I don't
got we've got a huge pile of covers again to get
Yes.
through. I mean, it's no matter how we try to hide the song, do whatever, there's just it's the March of the Piggies all over again in our inbox. But so if you want to know what song we're doing next week, you got to sign up for patreon.com/155pod. Then you'll find out and you can get involved in the Discord. People have been like sharing their progress with their covers, helping each other out. It's honestly so heartwarming. And I hate how much this podcast and everything I do is making me love music again.
I'm so sorry.
It's just ridiculous. It's so heartwarming. So let's start with Mac.
All of that, though, just to be clear, I mean, so people get all of that. And Josiah, how much does that cost per month?
Well, Sam, $5.
We're out of our minds. These savings?
the same.
How could we stay in business?
That's like one coffee.
Yeah, it's true. It's like one fancy coffee that you don't get to have anymore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I order some bullshit coffees and they never cost that much money. Whenever the people who are all about savings plans know nothing about coffee at all.
They should definitely hang it with you and your barfing beans.
That's another thing that you would know about from behind the paywall.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Listen,
No, it's good. We should
time's slippery.
we should tease it in here so that they know. They know what they're missing.
Yeah, there's a lot of great bean content behind the paywall.
Honestly, I think we have been going a little bit fast and loose with it in these first few episodes because theoretically we want more people to sign up, but then we say all these things that like I really don't want a lot of people to listen to. So it's kind of just great.
Okay, so please, no one sign up for the Patreon. We can't have anyone else finding out about Josiah's beans.
don't sign up. I would hate for you to
Please.
sign up.
Not for these low prices.
Peel me back, you little piggies. Okay, Max Martin USA is the first one. I had to put this one first. I have not listened to any of these yet. This is Max Martin USA, and it is a Nightcore version. Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah, these are just good sounds, man.
They are. It's true. That synth could also be like a Mates of State synth.
Oh yeah, totally.
I still don't really like when he starts singing there. Just yell the whole time.
That is his speaking voice, though, right? That's you get. I'm Trent.
We got to listen up to the nasty part. Just I want to hear it sped up. Maybe it'll be better.
Yeah, you want to hear those fast nasties?
You know what it also is? Like this could easily be one of the latter quarter of their career Blood Brother album songs.
Oh, completely. This is like a bonus track from Crimes.
Okay, up next we got BQ with March of the Nasty Pigs. BQ also contributed to the Hinder compilation for those keeping track at home.
I don't like the title.
Step right up, march, crawl right up on your knees. Please, read, feed, no time to hesitate.
See, this is already like the
Don't like the taste of
more
it.
sinister,
Don't
creepy
like the
energy
smell
that
of
I
it.
prefer.
Yeah.
I wanna watch you come down.
This definitely, again, we've talked about this before, but this is like when I try to listen to like pure. I'm like, ooh, it's too crazy for me. That is sinister.
All the pigs are all lined up. I can give you all that you want. Take the skin and peel it back. Now, doesn't it make you feel better?
That was the best one.
Yeah, that's good.
That was the best break.
Okay, thank you, BQ.
I think we can say what this next person's band name is, because it's not the actual band that we're not allowed to say, and we've kind of been hiding it before. But they've contributed. This is their third contribution now. This band is called DRMC, which stands for Dude Ranch Means Come. That's kind of
I think that's
outside.
acceptable.
That's outside of the purview.
Yeah.
Step right up, march, push, crawl right up on your knees, please breathe. The touch that I want a little bit, I want a piece of it, I think he's losing it. Bite to shove it outside, surprise, life tastes like the blood on your teeth. A way to take a wanna, if I wanna, smash it up, I wanna fuck it up. I wanna watch it come.
I mean,
Wow.
I'm never gonna hate a song again once I have 20 of my internet friends cover it for me. You know.
That's amazing. Yeah, like good luck. I want a song that like one of us not just doesn't know, but like actively hates.
What
you
if
know?
we think of a song that both of us actively hate for next year? We'll do that, and we'll
Okay.
and then the episode will become a pretty hate machine when we do it. This band is called Dick Lips. Not sure what that's a reference to, but this is a cover of March of the Pigs. Much better already. Oh, see, how could I have ever doubted this was a punk song?
I mean, yes, it just perfectly works in the format. This is fucking awesome.
So good.
Now doesn't that make you feel better?
Incredible.
Oh my god. And so
Absolutely incredible.
I should say too, if for some reason you are listening for the first time and you just wanted to hear two strangers talk about a Nine Inch Nails song, one with a well of enthusiasm and the other with extreme indifference, and you're somehow still listening, which is incredible to imagine this scenario.
Yeah, this person, if that's you, I'll give you $5 right now. Just
Me too. I'll match that.
straight with us. Be
If you
totally
can
straight with
be honest, if you're listening to to us speak for the first time because you wanted to hear us talk about Nine Inch Nails,
Yeah.
and
And
you
you've lasted.
and you're here right now, if you could prove that somehow, or just like don't lie to us, we'll send you each $5 Canadian.
I will send you $5 in the mail, $5 Canadian in an envelope.
So, but what I'm trying to say is part of this method here is we get all these wonderful covers that we breeze by too quickly because we're trying not to have a complete and total mental breakdown every week from the sheer volume of content that we discuss. But we'll also put them on Bandcamp the following Monday after this comes out. So, and people are listening to the Bandcamp compilations. I mean,
Yeah, who can blame them?
they're so.
It's thick.
This is ridiculous. Okay, so up next is Lobster. I forget, was it Lobster 31 or whatever? But he's changed his name to Dr. Bugman 31 for some reason. So even better. But here's Dr. Bugman 31.
Step right up, march, push,
Whoa.
right up on your knees.
That is a natural fit for the time signature right there.
That's incredible. See, this
Don't like the smell of it.
version of it, you kind of don't notice.
Yeah. You just feel smarter while you listen.
Yeah, it's elevated.
All lined up. I give you all that you want. Take the skin, peel it back. Doesn't that make you feel better?
Oh,
Holy shit, Dr. Bugman. Are you a doctor of great covers?
we're going to punch that one up and edit it afterwards. So let's make a note of the time right now. And it is 1:55 right now on time. So that was at the 1:55 mark. So maybe we'll leave it there and just know that it was our lowest point this week. Right? Oh, I do love that people are contributing every week. I thought that it would be kind of, I don't know what I thought it would be. I don't know what I expected, but this has just far exceeded.
This is not where we thought this was going.
It's unbelievable. And so another MVP is Jordan Lane, formerly of the Steven Tyler Book Club podcast. Jordan does all kinds of things now. He's been contributing a cover every week. I can't wait to hear what this one is. I have a feeling, but maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be wrong. This is called Pigs Marching Up a Hill.
Step right up and watch it push. Crawling up to me on your knees. Please won't you feed my greed? No time to ignore my needs. I just want a little bit. I just want a piece of it. I think he's losing it. I wanna watch it come down. What I don't like is the look of it. What I don't like is the taste of it. I don't like the smell of it. Hey, I said, I want to watch it come down.
Wow.
Oh my God. Transcendent.
Holy shit. Yeah, now I want to listen to both those songs.
Too. I love that other song too. It's so good.
Oh my God.
That was amazing, Jordan. Good Lord. Okay, up next, this person on our Bandcamp is also just like, you could just spend a whole weekend there. You know, we've already said this. But right before kind of our big finale, talking about the song Damn It by some fucking band, right before that, like the week before, I had mentioned that my friend Nate Roos from the band Fun, he was letting me field questions and comments from his fans on Twitter or whatever, and I told some stranger to come up with a track listing for the next Fun album, and I would send it to him. And so this random girl did. You remember this, like Daylight?
Yeah, totally.
And
This
so
was like an amazing track list.
it was an amazing fictional track list. One of the dudes from Split Hairs, who does our theme songs, he dressed up for the track listing for Halloween. And then with like 2 days notice, this dude, Tony Manfredi, like turned it into a real album. So that's on our Bandcamp, is like a fictional album based on a Fun track listing that some random stan on Twitter created.
It's an unofficial Fun album. That's what it is.
I mean, basically, but the artist name he chose for that was I've Never Listened to Fun Before. And this week he's contributed a cover of March of the Pigs from his project I've Never Listened to NIN Before. So God, I can't wait to hear where that goes. I can't wait to hear what happens with that. I mean, these lyrics are perfect punk lyrics.
They verge. One might say they could even be free.
They are almost free punk lyrics. I agree.
Yeah, but elevated.
That was so good. Sounds nothing like NIN. I can tell you've never listened to them before.
Yeah, you're really even if it wasn't the band name, it might be obvious.
Okay, the next artist is called A Very Special Episode. I can't remember. People write me like fucking whole paragraphs about these covers, but I'm just trying to get through my life. You know, you're all just like draining me so much in such a good way that I love. But you know, you little piggies just peeling me back and taking a chunk. What if I do a whole episode like as like a Trent Reznor type of guy?
Piggy voice. Yeah, you should do it next week.
I mean,
Okay, I feel like that's like in like a Terminator knockoff movie where the protagonist, it's a new concept that I've learned about. Like walks into a bar, like a sort of like indiscriminate punk goth kind of metal bar, and like that is the sound of that bar. Like that's the band playing in like a sick 80s.
it kind of sounds like
future-
Suicide, like a modern version of
Yeah,
Suicide.
totally.
Like if the band Suicide came out nowadays, I think they'd be called Died by Suicide. Oh, that's a good joke. Boy, that's
we
good.
Go to that time code too. Like that was so sick though.
That was really
I truly
good.
felt transported to like an 80s version of the future.
Yeah, like that was like some true head. Like you could tell listening to that one, I was like, okay, these people understand this song in a way that I do
Yeah,
not.
totally. Yeah.
Up next is Sparkling Water with the cover of March of the Pigs. Ooh. See, if the creepy piano singing happens the whole time, it's fine.
Right. This is like the appropriate level of creepy piano, which is 100.
As long as there's no like rockin' part, I think it works. Also, the singing is so nice. I feel like more things happen, but it's not fair to the other songs if we skip ahead to
Yeah,
Going
that's
away
yeah.
That was so good. I'm gonna listen to that
It feels
one.
like sparkling water. I get it.
It's true. It's all right there.
These subtle flavors dancing across my tongue.
That also
and my ears.
that also kind of felt like a movie, like you go into a bar in like a
Oh, fully, yeah.
maybe like a cyberpunk noir kind of movie. Maybe in the game Cyberpunk, although I'm not going to play that game. Even though I'm
Why is Cyberpunk canceled?
well, I think there's very many reasons. I think it's like extremely transphobic, but also
shit.
more importantly,
I thought it was just because it was like capitalist. I had no idea. Like
I think-
the critiques I have seen are like it doesn't understand the sort of capitalist critique, which is supposed to be at the heart of.
Yeah,
China.
I think that there's that, and also there's elements of playing with gender that are ultimately still enforcing a binary. But none of those things
I
are
did
the
not mean to
reason.
be glib just then.
But none of those things are the reason why it's been trending. It's just because the graphics don't load properly, and everyone's mad about it. So that's why it's trending.
That's what people are mad about.
Okay, up next, let me see what this band is called. SD Floorboards with March of the Content Piggies.
Start the tape. Start. Somebody.
Step right up, march, push,
What?
crawl right up on your knees.
Switcheroo.
Please breathe your feet.
Start the tape.
I want a little bit. I want a piece.
Oh my god.
I think he's losing it. I want to watch it all come down.
Somebody.
Don't like the look of it. Don't like the taste of it.
Somebody.
Don't like the smell of it.
Start the tape.
I want to watch it all come down.
Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say.
Floorboards. I'm impressed. I get it now also.
Yeah, me too. I was thinking while we were
I
listening.
had to say it out loud to get it.
Wait, I don't get it. Is there a joke that I'm missing?
Well, I just feel like S and then another word and then like floorboards, similar synonyms, covered a lot of songs that way. We talked about it a lot on another podcast that we used to have.
Oh, still not getting it, but it's okay. I can hear you
Chatted
typing it to
you.
me.
For some reason, I don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, you think it's like that? Like you can say
That's
it.
got to be the joke, right?
ST Manville, SD Floorboards.
Yeah. Otherwise, SD floor, like you wouldn't be like, DSDs or something. You know what I mean?
Oh no, we're so dumb, both of us. This is a reference to an inside joke from the last two Behind the Paywall episodes.
I know, but what I'm saying is it's combining that inside joke with another inside
I didn't
joke.
even think of either of them because I'm too busy thinking about edgelord behavior.
Oh, really? No, okay. Like, so I got that joke right away. Jesus Christ, man.
I was just thinking.
Remembered what happened on the podcast.
I was trying to get all pretentious with it because while I was listening to all those pig samples, I was thinking about kind of, especially in the 90s, but then more recent, like maybe it's just a Gen X thing, this obsession with pig sounds and pigs. And I was thinking about the Michael Haneke film, Benny's Video, which I recently watched, which is like, I'm pretty sure it's a pig in it that's part of the kind of graphic, detached violence that happens in that film. And then also, what's it called? Upstream Color, that fucking piece of shit movie, which I did hate before that guy was canceled, to be fair. Not that it mattered. Not that it reflects anything,
Congratulations,
but I
yeah.
just gotta say. No, but isn't there a bunch of pigs in that movie? Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, that movie's all about pigs.
It's like the most unbelievably pretentious thing ever. So I think maybe there is some sort of Gen X thing where like the pig is so meaningful to them.
It's so smart and cute, but also we eat it.
But it also represents bad stuff.
Very rarely have I heard a pig sound on a record as a start to like a rollicking good time.
Yeah, because even like bluegrass guys don't do that because they don't.
No, it's just on propaganda records. On
They
like,
don't
the
want you to
vegan songs.
know what they're doing to those pigs on those bluegrass farms.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The
What they're having-
bluegrass pigs are well hidden from the prying eyes of the public.
Which actually, while we're talking about edgy pigs stuff, and now that we're a legitimate podcast, even though we are running along again, I do want to just sort of throw down the gauntlet. I said this on our previous show, but talking about pigs, talking about this like mysterious Nine Inch Nails pig recording setup and stuff. I just want to say like out loud on the pod, last podcast on the left, never heard the show, don't really know anything about it. Apparently it's not leftist, but it's just called that. So it kind of predates the leftist podcast gold rush of recent years. But they did on their show say that the band Nickelback played at Piggy's Palace, which was the farm sort of speakeasy bar that was where Robert Pickton like did his grotesque, horrific murders in Vancouver. And I've written them. I've looked everywhere. I've like combed through old newspaper articles and stuff. I can't find any evidence about this anywhere. So I basically just need to use my platform to find out where they got this tidbit from. Where did you hear that Nickelback played at Piggy's Palace? Because that information will change the world if we can find the truth about it.
Do you think it's possible that it's just like some made up podcast bullshit?
I mean, we would never do that, so I would hope not.
Because I listened to like 2 seconds of that podcast once, and like it seems like it could be some made up podcast bullshit.
I mean, I didn't want to say it out loud, but I do think it's that, and I'm not here for this Nickelback slander. Okay,
right? Yeah, but you are here for the last. It never occurred to me that last podcast on the left should have been like a leftist podcast. It always struck me as something that actually should have been like more of a horror film podcast than it is.
Is it? What even is it though? They just make up lies about Nickelback? That's their thing?
That's all they do.
Do you know how many Nickelback Facebook groups I'm in? I'm like here to defend Nickelback. So, okay, I'm sorry. I digress. The next one,
spurious charges.
I'm gonna let you guess where this band is from. They're called Sludgeramento. Santa Barbara, of course.
Yeah.
I immediately just felt stale secondhand weed smoke in my lungs. Like, honestly,
holy shit,
it's so good. But I will also say that no matter what genre or what's happening, I do think the song sounds better when it's in 4/4 rather than 7/8. Other than
except for the one the
Dr. Bugman 31. How could I forget the band name?
The Doctor's cover.
I do feel like you could you turn a sludge song into 7/8? Do they ever have weird timings?
That doesn't seem right.
They're always in 4/20 time.
God, like no, because it would feel like it was speeding up.
Yeah, that's true. That's too
you just
stressful.
Want to be locked in.
Yeah, true. All right, up next is Teen Jazz. Who knows what the fuck Teen Jazz is up to this week? Another constant in our lives.
The teens are too wild.
Step right up, march, push, crawl right up, on your knees, please, read, beat, no time to hesitate. I want a little bit, I want a piece of it, I think he's losing it, I want to watch it come down, but like the look of it.
It sounds like Gwen Stefani.
Don't like the smell of it,
Yeah.
watch it come down.
She's
All the
back.
pigs are all lined up.
I know, but her song is too self-aware.
Take the skin and peel it back.
I haven't actually heard it.
She used to seem like she was living in a different world, but the new Gwen Stefani song is about how it's a new Gwen Stefani song.
Shove it up inside. Surprise. Lies. Stains like the blood on your teeth. Bite.
I love this, though.
Away the tender part.
The teens are all right.
I wanna break it up. I wanna smash it up.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy is our age or even older, but
What? The name is just a joke?
sorry, it's a pod reference again. Up next, we got my boy Todd Killings. He actually, so he's been on every week as well. He asked some friends to contribute drums, and he got 2 back. We're just gonna play one, but both will be on the compilation. But this one is Todd Killings featuring Jarrett Doherty, the drummer of Screaming Females. He asked for a drum track, and the drummer Jarrett Doherty from Screaming Females contributed bongos, djembe, triangle, and tambourine. So I'm excited to.
Amazing. This is a Screaming Females cover.
This is basically an official Don Giovanni Records release.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah.
Iconic, right? You know what it is.
It's true. With that percussion, this just sounds like the chemistry of Common Life.
It totally does.
Now it kind of sounds like Dead Moon.
Make you feel better.
Whoa.
Ha ha. That's if it was a Chemcom song.
Yeah.
Ha. It'd be like a Ben Cook Sandy layer.
It's true. So good. That was awesome too. I loved that.
That was sick. I mean, incredible bongoing.
It's true. So there's going to be another version with different drums as well. They've got two Todd Killings on here. Up next, another person that's constantly showing up. I can't wait to hear
Double
this.
Homicide.
One of my new this is like another one of my favorites, which they're all my favorite, and I'm not even joking. But I cannot wait to hear what Baby Tyler did with this song.
Ooh.
Baby Tyler is basically the new Boss Baby, in my opinion.
As far as I can tell, I only take my orders from one boss, and that is Boss Baby Tyler.
We need to be franchising out Baby Tyler ASAP. We need a girl Baby Tyler. We need a Netflix series.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta get some intellectual property lawyers on the case. Just make sure that no one else sort of scoops us and knocks off Baby Tyler.
I hate that. Usually when we play Baby Tyler, I'm usually able to make some reference what it sounds like to prove that I also was there, so to speak. You know, but I can't figure out what that one reminded me of. It definitely maybe you could use the word shambolic because it is still garage punk. But other than that, it kind of was its own thing. But I did like it a lot. I just can't place it.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it comes straight from the crib.
It's the name of Baby Tyler's biography coming soon on 155 Books.
Isn't that the name? There's a DBS album with that title, right? It's
I think so. Yeah.
It literally is like straight from the crib or something like that.
Yeah, that was back before hip hop vernacular took over, and the crib meant something entirely different than it does nowadays.
Wow, fascinating. Culture, language is so fascinating.
Scotty Pot Smoker is the next person's name, which I cannot wait to hear. Scotty Pot Smoker take on March of the Pigs.
I'm interested.
Well, step right up. March, push, crawl right up on your knees. Please, good feet, no time to hesitate. I want a little bit, I want a piece of it. I think he's losing it, I want to watch it all come down. Don't like the look of it. I don't like the taste of it. Don't like the smell of it.
Whoa, Scotty. Scotty, I would ask what you're smoking, but
Yeah. Spelled out. Yo, that was great.
that was so good. Again,
Smoke pot too.
there's something about this song that is making all these covers like kind of impossible to have a reference point for me at least. But
You know, it's interesting because I think like melodically, it's not tied to any. Like, it doesn't feel like, you know, when you do a pop punk song, it's like, okay, it's just a sped up pop song, or it's just. I don't know what it's anchored by from a reference standpoint, like even as an original.
Yeah.
And so as a result, it's you know, you can kind of tell generally maybe what someone was starting from, but then you kind of put this song in there, and especially if you retain the time signature stuff, it's just like very weird. It's kind of it's making for like genuinely fascinating covers, I think.
I agree. Okay, there's a couple left, and then we've only gone a little bit over our allotted time to speak to each other this week, so it's not bad. Up next is Matt.
Yeah, this is like court mandated after this.
Exactly. It was getting
We're
too.
not allowed to contact
we were
each other for a
we were
week.
learning too much with our dumb guy thoughts on the old model.
Exactly.
We were getting too
Dangerous
close
shit.
to the truth. This is the only way it's allowed. Matt Ayers. I do remember Matt Ayers said something like he normally plays guitar in a hardcore band, but he's never really done much solo stuff before. So, March of the Pigs, baby.
Doesn't that make you feel better? Doesn't it make you feel?
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Please make.
See, that's where I think it's sitting at the intersection of like, if anything, it's like a hardcore song, right? Where like, doesn't that just feel like it could have been like a Code Orange,
Yeah.
you know, like late album cut?
It sounds like new hardcore made by kids who like think hardcore is cringe.
Yeah, totally.
That also kind of
exactly-
reminded
that
me of
was so sick.
Atari Teenage Riot or something.
Yeah.
But then with like crazy blast beats, and that was so good.
How do you make that kind of sound? Like, how do you even do that?
I don't know.
What part of the guitar does that come from?
He probably has like some sort of sick guitar. I don't think I can do that on my Telecaster. You know what I mean? Like it's probably not.
It's got to be like a specific way that you're.
I think if I try to do like a sound like that on my Telecaster, it voids the warranty.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Quiche Baby, December of the Pigs from Quiche Baby, which is a funny pun. I did get that one when I was looking in my days today because it's December right now. It's not March. It's December.
Oh,
You
okay.
fool.
I was like, quiche. I was thinking about quiche baby. Sorry.
Quiche Baby. Yeah, I don't know if maybe that's a pun too. It's so embarrassing that I fucked up the floorboards thing earlier. Maybe I should edit
Right,
that.
that
out.
was obviously the joke, right?
It was. I mean, I don't know about the ST Manville part, but either way, I mean, I've definitely shown my ass a lot on this episode. I think
My ass
that
is covered.
your ass is clean and covered.
Yeah,
Mine is
I've been
filthy and
well
shown.
wiped.
Oh, the time signature sounds so cool with fake drums too.
Oh yes. Quiche.
Quiche, baby. See that's why I love not listening to the Homework Band and listening to the new version, because everyone's so much better at making it more creepy now.
I'll be honest. Like I love these. I would say 50% of these covers. I won't say which 50% are better than the original. Like creepier, more melodically interesting. Like just like marked improvements on a song that I already loved.
Yeah, and that one kind of had like a little bit of the Dan Deacon voice effect on it too that I liked. Not going to explain this band name, but this is called Rocks How Redux is the band name. It's March of the Pigs featuring a bucket of rocks. So it's an actual bucket of rocks used for percussion.
Doesn't that make you feel better?
Wow.
Really getting the most out of those rocks.
Getting the most of those rocks.
In terms of percussive cameos, I think the rocks are. I hate to say, it's a close second to Screaming Females bongo dance, but giving them a run for their money.
I agree. Yeah, and check out, if you're into that, you can check out Rocks How on Instagram to find some pod related geology. Is that what it is? Is it geology?
Yeah,
Can't remember.
It's geology. Come on, you don't remember? Yeah, it's geology.
Okay, this is the last one. This is from the Minietas, is the name of the artist.
Like a beach bar, or something.
Yeah.
Here I am in Fort Lauderdale. Someone's setting up a drum machine and they're going to be playing to the patio. That's fine. And then it's
this. This does have like janky beach house music.
Yeah.
It's like Surfer Daniel Johnston or something.
Yeah, but in the same way that there's this unsettling dichotomy between this kind of like lazy, charming, haphazard sort of feel to it, and then just pigs.
I like this version a lot. It almost sounds like the band Cake.
Yeah, it was like a real like Log Jacket energy. And that's March of the Pigs.